Do you think two March of the Mammoth titles might be a little bit much for a single monthly TBR? Yeah, probably. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Justin here, and in this video, I want to go over a bunch of books that I'm going to try to read in the month of March here. I did pretty good last month in February. I'll have to do my February wrap up. I think I did 4 out of the 5 that I picked for the TBR, so that's pretty good. And we're actually going to try to finish that one, the one that I didn't finish, right here in March. Well, why am I doing it on that side? We got The Lives of Beetles, A Natural History of Coleoptera by Arthur Evans. I got like 50 pages left, and I just got distracted and just never finished it for some reason. But this is one of those Princeton University Press books that I like so much. There's a whole series. I think there's one on sharks, lichens. I just got one on octopuses not too long ago. But you can see just lovely, lovely photographs, diagrams, illustrations. Learning a ton. Just really awesome. If you like any of the kind of like groups or families of animals that they have in the series, like I said, maybe I'll have to like compile a list of all of them, because I'm gonna get them at some point for sure. I've learned a lot. It's a little jargony, not like overly so, because it kind of goes over the different stuff, but a lot of it's kind of like the anatomical parts and stuff, and then like the family taxonomic names of the different beetles. But granted, I think the beetle one might be kind of an exception to that, because there's like literally 500,000 species of beetles, so there's just a lot more families and genuses of beetles than a lot of other kind of groups of animals. So anyways, there's that, and this is the book that distracted me from that one. Like I said, I only have like 50 pages left, so that should be a slam dunk to finish. We got The Science of Gardening, Discover How Your Garden Really Grows by Dr. Stuart Fairmont. And this is just like kind of a nice little kind of, I guess, geeky garden primer. I have a whole gardening shelf over there that, like I said, when I do my library tour at some point, we'll have to do it, go through it and stuff. But I don't have one. This was like one of my first ones on just like kind of the biology of gardening. It's kind of going over like, what does it really mean to have your soil be alkaline or acidic? What does that actually like do? What is a seed? What's actually in there? All that kind of stuff. So it's got a lot of the kind of like scientific stuff kind of going on. And, it might not be for everybody. A lot of people, just like to garden, but I kind of like to know the science and stuff behind things. But so what happened was I had 50 pages left in the beetle book. And then, walking by this book that I've walked by about, probably 500 times. I'm like, oh, I'm just going to like pull that off the shelf and just, I guess, throw the beetle book to the side for a little bit. Anyways, so next up we got my 2 March of the Mammoth titles that I'm going to try to read. We're going to try to get at least one and maybe half on the other. I don't know if I can do both. So the poll definitely was The Soviet Century, Archaeology of a Lost World by Karl Schlogel. That won the poll I put out on the community tab. I can't remember if it was like super far and away, but it was a pretty like easy win for it. And this is a social history of the everyday life of regular people living under the USSR. So I really enjoy social histories. What did people actually eat? What did they go out to do? What did they do for work? What did they, buy and spend their time, and, things like that. So like, tons of different chapters. I want to say they're actually broken up into, there's big sections and then smaller portions and stuff. I remember like flipping through it, and it was like, it was like interior decorating and like, the different like wallpaper styles or something that were in vogue for a while for whatever reason. Just lots of cool different stuff kind of going on in here. Like I said, so that's going to be the one I'm going to try to make sure I do finish. And then I also have the one that I was leaning towards that did not win. We got The Pursuit of Power, Europe, 1815 to 1914 by Richard Evans. This is all about the long 19th century, as my cat keeps, just knocking my books over. There's a pile like this tall, and they're just, yeah. Anyways, we got the long 19th century. This is kind of like the age of like the formation of the different nation states. For example, Bismarck's Germany, Garibaldi's Italy, kind of dealing with the aftermath of Napoleon's kind of like continental wars and whatnot. There, from what I understand, like looking through the different contexts, I think it was only 10 chapters, and it's like 880 pages, or no, I guess it's just barely over 800 pages. there's only 8 chapters, but each chapter is kind of broken into like a dozen like little sections. So each section is about like 10-ish pages, kind of like in that ballpark. So I think I'll be able to just kind of do like little bite-sized pieces throughout the month, and that's kind of my game plan with that one. And like I said, if I finish the Soviet Century and get halfway through that one, I'll be pleased. All right, so I need your help. There's also the No Place Like Rome readathon going on, but with those 2 mammoths and like the other stuff I want to read, I didn't think there was any point putting like any big books on Rome in here. I just don't think it's it's just not happening. So what are the smallest ones? I got 2 books here on Roman military stuff. These are from Osprey Publishing, which do I don't know if I brought these up in my channel since I kind of restarting like a month or 2 ago. For those who don't know what they are, is there's a couple different series. There's like Men-at-Arms, Warrior, like fortification weapons, things like that. And it just is like a super accurate highlight of the archaeological and textual evidence of whatever topic that they're kind of going for. But the big draw here too is also the plates. These illustrated commission plates are historically accurate, like to the best of, you know, all of like academia's like abilities and whatnot between like, you know, the arms and armor, and they're like noted and everything in the back. Just really, really cool as far as if you're like really into, I don't know, just learning about the nitty gritty, super, super in-depth details. Anyways, lots of photographs too as far as like archaeological stuff as well. But anyways, so I got 2 of them here. One is the early Roman armies, which is dealing with kind of like the formation of like the Roman state. So we probably have like the Greek phalanx into probably like the first like legions, kind of before, I would assume, up to like the Punic Wars. If I had to guess, though, I haven't actually flipped through this one yet. Doesn't really say. But yeah, that would be, well, of course, it might be on the back. Imperial, nope, guess not. Anyways, so the complete opposite spectrums here of like Roman military stuff. We've got early Romans, like I said, probably the Greek phalanx style up into the beginning of maybe like the Manipular legions with like the Punic Wars. And then we also have the late Roman cavalrymen, which is kind of like during the crisis of the 3rd century down to, looks like through the reign of Justinian here in the Byzantine Empire. Totally different stuff kind of going on. Let me know which one I should read in the comments below. Like I said, they're both, I think, around 64 pages, so I can definitely like at least finish those. Like I said, I just don't feel like with the Mammoths it's just happening. There's just no point putting another one in there. If you made it this far, we only got 2 books left. I have to do, I guess I had some nature books in here, but I feel like those 2 mammoth books are just kind of, I think I probably said 2 mammoth books like 10 times in this video. Since they're both histories, I couldn't balance it out. I didn't have a nature book that was like quite long enough, so I got 2 smaller nature-ish title. I guess one's kind of like nature adjacent. But before I get to those, if you have been enjoying the video, don't forget to, you know, like and, like I said, comment on which ones. Also, give me a thumbs down if you think my video sucks. I don't know what you're doing here so far, if, you know, if that's the case. But anyways, if you do want to support the channel, best way is definitely check out my Etsy shop where I sell things like this. Like I said, all the time, liking the items definitely helps me in the algorithm and whatnot. But let's just get on with it. We got Rebugging the Planet by Vicky Hurd. The remarkable things that insects and other invertebrates do and why we need to love them more. So this is a book all about, I think, like tips and tricks on bringing invertebrates and bugs and insects into like your yard and your local communities and stuff. I think it's a lot of like kind of down to earth sort of, this, you can actually kind of do this sort of thing. I don't know if it'll have a lot of applications for those maybe like living in apartments in like bigger cities and stuff. Like I said, I'm super rural, so I don't have any idea what that's like anymore. But like I said, I really enjoy stuff like that. I want to try to do more like gardening hacks and, you know, trying to bring more birds and pollinators and stuff. And I have a feeling this is going to have a lot of good kind of stuff in it, as, you know, my cat is rocking the tripod again. Anyways, like I said, I think it'll help, like I said, bring pollinators is kind of like my main goal there with that one. And then lastly, I was sent, as like I said, my cat is just doing her best to knock this over. I was sent this book for review. We got Barron's Money, Power, and the Corruption of America's Food Industry by Austin Farrick. And I mentioned this in my book haul video. I think it was my book haul video. How this book was just going to make me mad and irritated. And I've read the first two chapters over the past weekend. And it made me just mad and irritated. So the first two chapters, we got pork barons as the first chapter and kind of the grain barons as the second one. And just the amount of corruption, amount of greed and corruption and flaunting of the laws and stuff. So go float. Is just appalling. You know, when you have 2/3 of a state's fresh water between rivers and lakes and stuff just unaccessible for not only human consumption. You can't fish in it. Not only can you not fish in it, you can't even like touch the water or you'll get like rashes and sick and stuff. But everyone's just like, all politicians are like, yeah, whatever, like it's okay, you know. I don't know. Like I said, it's gonna make you mad, but in a good mad, if that makes sense. Like probably not, but I think they are important topics to like learn about. That way, you know, try to hopefully form some like grassroots stuff to try to like combat it. Not that that's not like already happening. It's just, you know, some of these things just take a lot out of like local communities and whatnot. But anyways, like I said before, I just start getting derailed on like how upset I am with the stuff I'm reading about. Those are the books that I want. Like I said, I don't know why I'm reading books just to like make me upset, but like I said, it's a good kind of upset. Let me know what you are reading in the month of March, and if you're reading books that you're reading to make yourself irate or not. Anyways, I'm always on the lookout for good recommendations, and whether you're reading things that make you mad or happy, always remember, read victoriously.